introduce us to Arbias, please?
Yeah, certainly. Arbias is a not-for-profit organisation, and it was created in 1990, so well over 30 years ago, and it was put together by a group of family members concerned for their loved ones who were unable to access services for people who had acquired brain injury. And so over the years it's evolved, and now we provide a range of support services. We specialise in supporting people with acquired brain injury and comorbidities, but we also have neuropsychological services on site, and they provide assessment intervention services, and also provide training not only to our staff but to other organisations. We have a range of support services from community programs, and you'll hear from one of our participants today. Core support, which provides support to people in the community in terms of community access, right through to intensive case management, and a range of other services in between. We've also got residential services in the community, and we partner with the TAC to deliver those services for people with acquired brain injuries.
Sounds like a very expansive offering.
It is. It's quite extensive, and we have a great workforce, an incredible team. Many of them work across different program areas. I, as the State Manager of Client Services, have a small team of state managers that assist me to provide oversight, mentoring and coaching to our team. But really it is about our team, our staff, and the level of service and the quality of services they provide. They're just amazing group of people. Very dedicated, compassionate, and hardworking. I don't ever hear them saying it's too difficult, it's too tough. They just get on with the job with compassion and care. So I'm really proud of them.
What brought you to Arbias? What experience did you have?
Yeah, quite an interesting journey. I'd worked with the Department of Justice and Community Safety for 30 years at senior management and operational levels, but often working with clients, people coming out of custody and people on court orders. And over those years, there were a number of things that really resonated with me, and that is that the ability to provide wraparound services, support services to people who are marginalised, who are sometimes making wrong decisions, but with the right support they can turn their lives around. So when I decided to move on from the department, I came across a job ad from Arbias, and it really, again, it resonated with me because in terms of the values, the work and the people that were involved, it was something that really attracted me to the role. And I'd heard of Arbias, I knew of Arbias for many years, and was really impressed with their values, their reputation in the community, and the services they delivered. It was really, it's quite a specialised, unique service, and the people that worked with Arbias were very talented, very skilled, very committed, and I thought I'd like to be part of that organisation.
Wonderful. I know I landed in Melbourne for the second time in 2011. I've seen Arbias over that entire time. I'm quite stunned that it's taken this long for me to actually approach you guys and say, we'll ask for an introduction.
Yeah.
So what do you see, how do you see the worth of Arbias becoming more widely known?
Yeah, that's a good point, Eva. It's we are quite specialised and rather unique in our offerings and services, and we don't really promote, and we don't have a strong media presence or social media presence. So it's something certainly we're looking into, and in fact we're doing some work on our social media profile at the moment. When I was working with Justice, I suppose I understood Arbias' work because of our connection, but it's not very well known, apart from perhaps some allied health services and some organisations in the community that do know us. But there's certainly scope to broaden our brand and to really promote the good work that we do. Yeah.
So you've been in your role for about 14 months, you tell me.
Yeah.
How do you see, what are your dreams for Arbias? What what would you like to work upon? How would you like Arbias to grow?
Yeah, and that's a great question, because we've been spending quite a bit of time on our strategic planning, our future focus, and you know, where we would like to go. And can I say that we have a really inspiring CEO in John Eyre and the board of management, and we have a very clear direction, strategic direction in terms of where Arbias is placed. So for us, future growth really looks like working in the complex needs space, working with people with complex needs and providing a comprehensive wraparound service, from the neuropsychological assessments right through to the interventions and the supports and the coordination, a whole range of other wraparound services, and bringing in like-minded other professionals and services, such as your occupational therapist, your speech pathologist, people who are similar in terms of values and understanding, and working with people who acquire brain injury. So that's part of our focus. We're also branching out, looking at opportunities in the regions, and looking at what we need to do in terms of mobilising our workforce, the skills, the logistics, which is, you know, quite a challenge, and how do we get to that next level where we're able to provide services for agencies, you know, for authorities such as TAC and WorkSafe, but out in the regions. So that comes with its own challenges. We are increasing our workforce and employing a number of people, both in the casual and permanent part-time positions and full-time roles. But it's not just about filling vacancies, it's about the right fit. People who have got similar values, got the right skills, the right training and commitment to the role, and that we can match them with the clients, the participants, and it is a good fit. It's really important that that fit is you know, well considered, and that we match the right person with the participant. Yeah.
What about peers? Is there space for work with peers? Because I always see people that have brain injuries as actually being the true authorities of brain injury. So how does Arbias utilise peers? Yeah,
and that's definitely one of the areas that we'd like to explore, particularly in working with people with lived or living experience, particularly with people who can share their own journey, their own story, and in a consulting advisory type role, can talk to us about what we're doing well and perhaps areas that we need to improve. And you know, it is a slow kind of process, but it's certainly something that we're interested in developing, and we'd like to, I think, develop that area a lot more and bring on board, invite people who have had lived or living experience, people who can talk to us about, you know, areas that really need to be addressed, and what works for them, what they need, particularly from services like Arbias. Yeah, absolutely.
That's great to hear that you're actually considering the voice of the peer, because it's so necessary.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's been something that's been silenced for so long.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And it has its own challenges in terms of making the work environment supportive and can accommodate individual needs and so forth. But I think with goodwill and some supports, that's more than achievable. And what we're set to learn and gain from that experience would be invaluable. We do have an advisory group that on occasion will come together and provide some advice, but unfortunately that hasn't been working as well for over the last 12 months or so. So I think it's time that we bring that together again and open the invitation to more people who are interested, who'd like to participate.
Great.
And so, yeah, absolutely, it's something to look forward to.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in and talking about Arbias, Mario.
Thank you very much for the invite. It's been amazing.
Thank you.